Fine. So, guys, yesterday we started something on Naukri, right? So today
Yes.
I actually want to, discuss the sourcing strategy with you, okay? Rather than just getting into the technicalities directly, I wanted to discuss what is the basic thing that we should know while doing sourcing. Okay, that is very, very important. Fine. So I'm going to share a screen with you. So we'll do a short presentation, a PPT, in which I will run you through what are the main sourcing strategies and how we should do. Because see, the main idea behind this training program is first, to get placed with one of the best companies, and second, how through brushing up on our knowledge, right, on what we already know, or maybe something which is new to us. So until and unless we understand why we are doing what we're supposed to do, then there's no point getting into the job, right? And how we should do it. So we should have our weapons ready, right? So that is why I want to take you through these through this slide. Okay. So I'm sharing the screen. So just let me know when you can see the screen, okay? Is it visible?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Fine. So as I told you, we will be going through the sourcing strategy in recruitment. Okay. So what is actually sourcing candidates? Okay. Candidate sourcing is the process of searching for, identifying and contacting potential candidates for roles you are either recruiting or will be recruiting in future. So we are trying, it is a process of first searching, identifying the potential candidates. So who are your potential candidates? See, suppose if you have a particular role vacant, then who could be your most, closest match, or who could be the best suitable candidate? Okay, those are the potential candidates who can be hired. Okay, so it is generally a process of searching, identifying, and contacting potential candidates for the roles we are recruiting. Okay, and here, yesterday I already told you there is a difference between recruitment and sourcing, right? So recruiting happens after sourcing. So after a sourcer, okay, identifies the potential candidates, okay, through various sources and talks to the candidates, then your recruitment process starts. So recruiting happens after sourcing and it incorporates the screening, interviewing, and evaluating elements of the recruitment process. Okay. So first, a sourcer will have to identify various modes from where you can take up the potential candidates. Okay. So what could be the challenges while sourcing candidates? Okay. First thing, candidates not knowing what the job actually entails. So first of all, as a sourcer, okay, or as a recruiter, because recruitment might include sourcing also, right? So as a recruiter or as a sourcer, we need to first actually understand what is the job role. So what does it entail? What are the facilities available that comes up with the role? Not only what's the job that's to be done, but we also have to understand if there are any facilities or any kind of other attachments that come with the job role, and we have to understand in detail what is the kind of job role that needs to be done by the for the particular role that we are sourcing. Okay, so first of all, it is very important for us to know that what the job actually entails. Okay, understanding the job description and the job requirement is the first and foremost important thing for us as a sourcer. Okay, so a low number of applicants. The second hurdle could be a low number of applicants or low quality candidates. So in order to get the best, resource for the kind of profile we are hiring, We need to ensure that we have the best applicants, but sometimes we face challenges like very low applicants, right? I'm sure people who've been doing sourcing or recruitment, before, they know that for all positions, you don't get a lot of applications, right? Do you agree with me? Sometimes it is just one or two. Even if you do a job posting, you
Yes.
might not get a very high volume of applications, right?
It
So
happens.
sometimes you, even if you get applications, they might not be of very good quality, right? And you might have time constraints. Okay, so these are the kind of challenges that we face as a recruiter or as a sourcer. So difficulty getting in touch with candidate leads. Sometimes the number that is given in the CV, okay, or the numbers that are provided by the people who refer these candidates, they do not work. They do not reply to the emails that you send to them, right? So getting in touch with the candidates sometimes becomes a challenge, and serious competition from rival companies. So it becomes very difficult for us sometimes to convince them to join the company for which you are hiring, right? So we'll have to, that is why, the first topic itself we discussed was we'll have to understand what benefits, along with the job role, what benefits are we giving to the candidates, or how do we have an edge over our rival companies that we can offer to a candidate who would want to join the company. Okay, so sometimes we have a serious competition. Okay, and another one is not knowing which job boards or social media platforms will generate leads for the recruitment pipeline. So like we discussed yesterday, for all the job profiles, the same kind of sourcing methods do not work, right? So for IT profiles, maybe LinkedIn or maybe GitHub is one of the new app, right? Wherein you'll find a lot of technical guys, and maybe Naukri is one source where you can find technical guys, but this might not work for all other profiles, right? So knowing from where to source the right kind of profiles for different roles becomes a challenge sometimes. Okay, and managing the recruitment pipeline. So what is a recruitment pipeline? We need to build a pipeline while sourcing candidates. Okay, so a recruitment pipeline is what? It is mainly, lining up the most potential candidates. Suppose you are interviewing people, okay, and then you find various other candidates also who might be best suitable for the role. But sometimes we also find that, because it is always told to us, if there is one position vacant, then we will have to source at least 4 to 5 best profiles that are suited or best suited for a particular role, right? At least 4 to 5. So what happens is sometimes you might not get the closest match to the roles that are open, right? So sometimes managing the recruitment pipeline also becomes difficult, and lack of time. So sometimes there must be a lot of urgency while hiring, leading to the lengthy time to hire, right? Sometimes we are given a very short timeline to hire and getting the best candidate, because no matter how urgent the requirement is, we are told to get the best, we are supposed to get the best talent available in the market. So time constraint could be one of the challenges, and not knowing what matrix to measure, and therefore not measuring matrix accordingly. So this just means that not knowing what criteria to check upon to hire the best candidate for the role. So see, these are the setbacks or hurdles that you might come across while you start the role as a sourcer. Okay, so I'm just briefing you, this beforehand, so that you are prepared, so that you know what challenges you might face. Please do not get demotivated, or please do not think that, okay, I will not be able to do my job role because I'm facing these problems. These are very common, and you just have to, know what to do next. Okay, so this happens with everyone, fine? Anything that you would want to know more about in this slide? guys. So I take it as it is clear to all. So I'll move on to the next slide. Okay. So effective sourcing strategies. So how do we ensure that we source the right candidates in a effective way? Okay. What are the strategies that we can um, consider for sourcing the right kind of candidates? Okay, so there are around 15-16 points. I will just take you through. If possible, please make notes. Okay, please listen carefully because this is going to help you while doing your job. Okay, first of all, we need to plan the sourcing strategy. That means please take time to analyze the job requirements. That means it is very, very important. The most essential thing is to understand the job requirements. Okay, you have to go line by line very carefully, understanding what is the requirement. Then you will have to create and build the ideal candidate profile. So we'll have to check whatever matrix is given in the job requirement, whether the potential candidates that you've identified, whether they meet the job requirement or not. So accordingly, you'll have to start building the candidate profile. But first and the foremost important thing is to understand the job requirement. Okay. So the second thing is again the same thing, understanding the job requirements. I'm sorry, it got repeated. The second one is start your search with former candidates. So see, we would have hired for the same job role, at a different time. Maybe sometime earlier, we would have definitely searched or tried to hire for the same kind of role. So why don't we go and check? Suppose we, out of 5 to 6 candidates that we had interviewed, we will take only one, right? So if there is a vacancy for one person, right? And what happens to the rest of the candidates? So what we can do is, first and foremost, we can try and check with these candidates. Okay, if they are still interested. So that way you'll save a lot of time. And of course, the company would have interviewed this person also. So you will know what is the this thing. Just give me a minute. Yeah, so sorry about that. Guys, you there?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
fine. So yeah, so we were on this slide, and start your search from the former candidates. So as I told you, please make sure that you check with the earlier candidates who have been interviewed for the same role. So if they're still looking out and if they're still interested to join the company, you can consider rather than starting your search all over again, so this could be one of the best option. Okay, and start your sourcing pipeline. So what happens is like we would have maintained a tracking system earlier, right? So with the help of those tracking systems, you would have definitely shortlisted few candidates. So we can go and recheck on them once again. Okay, so you should hopefully have captured these unsuccessful candidates data on your applicant tracking system. candidate relationship management system. So these are the various tools that we generally use while shortlisting candidates, right? Or there is different CRM systems that we find in our organizations that we use in order to have a candidate database or a similar database when we would have processed them initially. So this managing our sourcing pipeline means again referring to the earlier candidates whom we would have maintained as a pipeline. So all of you are familiar with these terminologies, right? The maintaining pipeline of candidates, the freshers. Are you able to understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Pipeline would generally mean, building maybe a pool of the most probable and potential candidates for a given job role. Okay, so that would be a pipeline. Okay.
Okay.
Build and maintain your sourcing pipeline. It will save your time in the future. So that was the earlier thing. So from where to get the candidates? Okay, that means from, please refer to the former candidates, one point. Another second point was whatever pipeline that you have done earlier, okay, that you've made earlier, please check that pipeline. Now, third, we will be building another pipeline, which is in case this job role is a totally new role and you want to consider candidates who will be maybe this is a recurring position, okay, and you would want to build a pipeline of candidates who would be best suited for this role. So you know that this position might come up again later on. So you have to save those candidates.
Ma'am,
Yes. Tell
ma'am,
me.
sorry for interrupted. Your voice is not audible.
My voice is not audible. Okay, is it the same for everyone?
No.
No.
It is clear to others. Okay, maybe there's some network issue, Pasna, at your end. Right? So don't worry, you'll get fine. Okay. So let's continue. So building a new pipeline, okay, for positions that are reoccurring. So you can say for bulk hiring, anybody who's done bulk hiring before? Bulk hiring wherein we need a lot of people all together. So maybe CSRs, anybody's done BPO hirings before? So in case of BPOs, what happens? The attrition rate is so high that every month you need to keep hiring, right? You need to keep recruiting, you need to keep sourcing. So for such positions, you can build a pipeline. Okay. So that whatever positions are filled this month, also you know that these positions are going to come up next month. So you again have candidates. You don't have to start your search all over again. Okay. And yeah, so the next strategy could be look for candidates for the future. So encourage your sources and recruiters to always be on the lookout for new candidates that match your candidate's persona and company culture. Train your staff to have a hiring plan in the back of their minds. So yesterday I read out to you the job description of the requirement in Accenture, right? So out there it was mentioned, if you remember, they are looking for candidates who can identify hiring needs, right? So how do we know the hiring needs? You can be constantly in touch with your manager, with your seniors, okay? And if you see any departmental growth, okay, obviously your seniors will come to know what kind of departmental growths, or maybe in some departments, or maybe in your purview. That means if you are given certain departments to be handled for hiring, then you are in touch with your managers or line managers. So you will get the information about new positions, or if there is any kind of expansion that's going on. So then you start identifying, what kind of positions that are going to come up. And then once you start, analyzing if there are going to be any new positions coming up, then you start identifying which kind of people might be useful to you to fill up these positions. So then you start talking to your friends, you start talking to your references, okay, starting to be talk to people whom you've already placed earlier. So that is called proactiveness. Okay, so you start analyzing the hiring needs and you start analyzing the most potential candidates. So that saves a lot of time. Okay, look at what the business and growth plan of your company is and predict hiring needs. Okay, so instead of us just being, okay, these are the positions I need to finish this month. It is very, very essential for us to understand what is the growth plan of the company and then see, okay, these might be the positions that might be coming up. Talk to your seniors about it and then start sourcing the right kind of candidates. Okay, please let me know if I'm going too fast.
I mean, so
It's okay, no?
yeah, it's okay.
Yes.
Okay. So also you need to keep modifying your search, expand your search, keep modifying your search terms to source additional new candidates online. Broaden your search terms and expand your semantics. Get beyond the people everyone else is searching. Okay, so this just means that instead of trying to focus only on what everybody is looking for, okay, in order to find the best talent in the market, we will have to broaden our search. Instead of just seeing the skills that everybody else are looking for, like maybe for accounts, I'm just looking for people who have worked for these many years, and who has done certain kind of job roles. But instead of that, we try to see what extra learnings does he bring with himself. If he has done any extra certification, if he has any other extra knowledge that could be useful for the company, then that means broadening my search and expanding our semantics. Okay, how more useful can that talent be for the organization? So you can broaden your search that way. Okay, and remember, basic searches will turn up basic results. So yesterday, what did I do? I went to Naukri and I just put accounts executive. How many profiles populated in the easy search?
Only account manager.
There was huge, right?
Keyword.
Yes, so it is very, very difficult to narrow down our search. So the basic search that we give will obviously yield only the basic results. But if I am looking for certain, certain roles or certain kind of skills, particularly some kind of skills in a person, then I'll have to mention accordingly. So that is why we say you need to understand the job role first. We will get a job description which says accounts executive. Okay, then what do we do? Especially as freshers, especially as new, recruiters, we just put exactly what is given and then we start searching. No, but that is not the right way to start searching for the right candidates. Okay, because different companies or different people, they have different designations in different companies. Okay, so you'll have to first go through the resume, understand what it, the job description, understand what role it demands, what kind of work it demands, and then accordingly, we put that word in the search criteria and then start searching them. Okay, so these are one of few of the tricks that we can use for searching the best candidates. Okay, so mind passive candidates. So who are the passive candidates? Anybody?
Those who are not actively looking for a job change, is it?
Right, right. So people who are not actively looking for a job change, okay, those are called passive candidates. Now, what we do is when we start searching for candidates, we start talking to almost everyone, okay, and then we tend to waste a lot of time in few people who might not be actively looking out for a job change. Okay, because we try to convince them, okay, no, see, this is the facilities, these are the benefits, this is the salary hike, this is a good company. But then in that process, we fail to realize that they are not actually looking out for a job change immediately. Okay, they might say, yeah, but I'm not looking out for immediately. Then you can start convincing those. So those candidates are passive candidates, and we should immediately identify who are passive candidates and try not to waste our time behind them. Okay, so what could be one of the tricks? What could be one of the tricks in identifying?
Don't waste time on passive
Identify the passive candidates.
Yeah, so how do we identify, how do we try to avoid attending to the passive candidate while searching for the right candidates, maybe while using one of the job portals? Yesterday, I just did it.
we should click on active candidate
Yeah,
Send active
in the portal.
dated profiles.
right. So, active since 3 months or 15 days, 1 month, we have that option, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So we have to choose people who have been active in maybe last 1 month or maximum 3 months, because what could be the notice period? It could be these days it is maximum 3 months. It doesn't go above that, right? So we'll have to choose
Yeah.
people who have been active in these 3 months, so that we don't waste time talking to candidates who are not interested to change their job at the moment. Okay. Now you can also ask yourself various questions and track different metrics. Okay. Yeah. So ask yourself various questions and track different metrics, namely how many messages and communication attempts it takes to get an initial response from a candidate. Okay. How many attempts does it generally take us to communicate or get an initial response from a candidate? So we need to analyze that. Engage with candidates you found is often the most overlooked step of the sourcing process. So engaging with candidates. Okay, engaging would be, can somebody tell me how would you engage with the candidates?
I think through call or emails.
Yes, through calls, through emails, right? Keeping a track of their activities, like whether they are applying to other companies